A birthday is always a special day, especially when you turn 93. Simone Dumont would soon realize that this birthday would be even more memorable. Simone Dumont, an American woman from the town of Augusta, Maine, was living a normal life. She was already over 90 years old, and after a rich life full of choices and joys, she just wanted to enjoy her retirement in peace. The woman had been retired for some time now. She had gotten used to it. She had her daily routines, and every day was another normal and pleasant day. The simple things in life made her really happy. The most important thing for her was her family. Fortunately, she had a big family, and they all had a great bond with each other. Her children and grandchildren often came to visit her, and she loved every moment with them, especially her grandchildren. They were the greatest joy of her life, and seeing them was always the highlight of the week. When she couldn't see them, she would talk to them or about them. She always had all kinds of pictures of her grandchildren. Simone Dumont was a proud mother and grandmother. Seeing them was always exciting. Soon she would be celebrating her 93rd birthday with them. Simone couldn't believe that was her real age. Time flies by. She often remembers all the beautiful moments she has lived. And she's grateful for each and every one of them. She loved being 90 years old, too. Not everyone appreciates getting older, but she did. Every day felt like such a blessing. There was always something to look forward to. And the next exciting event was going to be that very special birthday. Grandma didn't mind celebrating. All she wanted was to be with her family. As long as they were there, any party was going to be great. Her family never saw Simone's birthday as a normal day. They were always in awe of her. Another year with her was another great blessing. Not everyone makes it to this age, and they thought all her birthdays should be highly celebrated. The family never wanted the party to be small and simple. They wanted her to have a memorable birthday every year. This way of thinking forced them to be creative. How could they surprise her this year? What would make it unforgettable for her? Her daughter Anna thought about it for a while. Every year she wanted to give her mother the best gifts, but sometimes she ran out of ideas because there were so many birthdays. This year she wanted to do something even better. Anna started thinking about her mother's personality and interests, what she would really like, and what would be the biggest surprise. It was hard to think of anything. Her mother didn't do much anymore due to her age and quiet life, so there was no specific hobby or interest she could think of. She kept thinking there must be something she really liked. Anna thought about everything her mother does in a day. Usually it's the same thing every day. One thing Simone spent quite a bit of time on at her age was watching TV, probably like any other older person, but this was nothing special to Anna. What could be special? Then she thought of something her mother loved to watch. It was a show about cops. She watched it all the time. Simone always loved cops and often expressed how much she admired them. Maybe she could do something with this. She could give her a surprise that had something to do with the police, but what? Anna then came up with a crazy idea. Maybe it would be fun to have a policeman arrest her mother, or would that be going too far? She knew her mother and knew she had a great sense of humor, and of course, she also loved that show about cops arresting other people. Getting arrested by the police, like the people on TV, would make it an unforgettable birthday. Anna thought of other ideas to surprise her mother for her birthday, but this particular idea was the one that stuck. It was probably a gift no one would give her elderly mother, or anyone else for that matter, but Simone was different. She was a really fun and cool grandmom and would probably love a surprise like this, so Anna decided to go ahead. She told the rest of the family. At first, they all laughed and looked at her like she was crazy, but then they agreed. There's no doubt Simone would enjoy it. They couldn't wait to see her reaction. It would be memorable. The family had to think hard about how they were going to execute a crazy surprise. On the shows Simone watched, Cops and America's Most Wanted, cops used to arrest people. The shows showed the process. They wanted to do something similar with Simone. Finally, on Simone's birthday, the family managed to contact the Augusta Police Department. A couple of officers received special notice and went to Simone. The 93-year-old grandmother was excited to celebrate her years, especially since she had all her family close by. She couldn't wait to see what this year would bring. Another happy year of being alive and well on this earth. She felt great. She was grateful that her family made her celebrate her birthday. It made her appreciate it even more. They were right. Every year and every day should be celebrated. Simone was having a great time when suddenly the doorbell rang. The 93-year-old woman looked surprised. Was it another guest? Everyone who should be here is already here. Who could it be? When they opened the door, they saw the police officers in the driveway with a police car behind them. Simone frowned and gave them a questioning look. She had no idea why they were here. Was it because they were having a party? Were they too loud? Were they looking for someone in particular? Who were they looking for? The innocent 93-year-old woman was just enjoying her birthday and minding her own business. The cops said they detained her as they looked directly at Simone. The cops arrested this grandmother on her birthday for the most peculiar reason. It didn't even make sense to her. I'm sorry, arrested? Simone couldn't believe it. She looked at her family. They all had smiles on their faces. Was this her big birthday present? Had they prepared this crazy surprise? Her family must have had something to do with it, she thought. She laughed. What a great idea, and what a fantastic gift. It was unbelievable. It reminded her of all the TV shows she had watched. It was as if she was in one of those shows. She complied completely. The officer gave the 93-year-old woman orders, and she just followed them, while she had a big smile on her face. Now she was going to be stopped, and she had to get into the car. Excitedly, she entered the car. Probably no one has ever been so excited to be arrested. Simone and her family couldn't stop laughing. They thought it was all hilarious. However, this was not the only surprise. There was more to come. Later, they even handcuffed her. Simone carefully analyzed what the agents were doing. Normally, she would see this all on TV, but now she could experience it all. She was shocked by the handcuffs and didn't mind wearing them at all. She thought it was so funny. The agents loved to see this old lady happy too. When they heard this request, they accepted it immediately because, of course, they wanted to give a 93-year-old lady one of the funniest surprises. It was not the first time they received such a request. They often received requests to surprise other people at birthdays, parties, or other types of events. The agents always loved doing it and usually agreed. This one was even more special. Most people were allowed to get into the police car. This was also the case for Simone. The officers gave her permission to sit in the front seat and see what their car was like. They showed her all the equipment and ways of communication. She even got to try it out, and she was thrilled. The best birthday present I have ever received. What a thrill. Afterward, the agents even allowed her to touch several buttons. She pressed one that seemed to be bigger than the others, which surprised her. Just after pressing, she heard it, a loud siren sounding the blinding lights. She was completely surprised by it. She felt like a kid again. Her family could see how happy she was, and they were proud to have gotten such an amazing surprise. They loved to see her so happy, and she looked like she was having the time of her life. Simone definitely had the time of her life. She couldn't have asked for a better or cooler surprise. What a beautiful way to start her 93rd year. She had the best family, who knew her even better than she knew herself. Grandma was also grateful to the officers for agreeing to something like this and for giving her the best surprise birthday present. Now she loved the cops even more. Simone had one last request. She said she wanted to talk to the officers and tell them something. She wanted to show and explain her gratitude to them and to all police officers. She had always admired and respected police officers and their work. She explained to them that she believes the officers are not appreciated enough and deserve much more praise. So she started praising them. Simone thanked them for giving her an unforgettable day, for doing their job, and for helping all citizens. What you do is absolutely honorable. The officers thanked her for her beautiful words, but they still had one more surprise left. They thought that arresting her didn't count as a birthday present. She needed something more. So they gave her an official junior police sticker. That day, she experienced what it was like to be arrested and what it was like to be a police officer. None of those TV shows could top this. Simone was thrilled. And just when she thought this day couldn't get any better, she thanked them again and then her family. She felt very happy and lucky. In the end, she told her family that they had made her whole life, and Simone was overflowing with gratitude. What's the funniest surprise you've ever received? Share it with us in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. We hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.